Hello everyone and welcome back to the Helix Mountain map where we're playing with the folktales on hardest difficulty. Last time we have massively expanded our food supply, as you can see around here, and because of that I think it is time that we're also thinking about expanding our overall beaver population, because that would just be, a nice thing to have, because then we also just get to do a lot more stuff. So let's go ahead and talk through this. So we have over here our in the mountain kind of area for our houses. And I think we're going to keep the same overall principle kind of just moving forward. What I want to do ultimately is put rooftop terraces on all of, well, maybe not all, but a majority of these houses. So we also get the benefit from the rooftop terraces. And that means where this path right here needs to actually be flattened out if we want to keep moving along that overall area here. So, and then once that is done, I think we keep building further into the mountainside, like I mentioned in the beginning of the playthrough. In order to be able to do all of this, we first need to figure out how we're going to place down our paths so we will still be able to get up onto the mountain, and that's exactly what we're going to do. First, though, I'm going to move our builder's hut over here and let our beavers kind of just finish building that. They're also still building our paper production facility stuff. So that I think will ultimately be quite useful, because then we can also unlock the larger windmills, which will provide more power to our completely overloaded industry area. But that is something that we will not tackle in this episode, but in the next one, or maybe the one after that. So for now, let's focus on getting more beavers. We still have 8 open jobs. For those of you who are new here, these are all based on this hauling post right here. Not a big problem to have this many open jobs. All right. Besides that, building lacks power. Yeah, I know, because no wind currently going. It does take a while for the water to fill this up. And in the last episode, we've created sort of this shortcut here, which should ultimately help, but it does still take quite a while to actually fill all of this up. One thing that could actually speed this up a little bit, if we're making this area just a little bit higher, the water should first fill up this part and then only then kind of tip over in the other direction. Could even just make this even higher than that. All right, well, check it out, see if this does any better, but, if not, we can always change it. All right, builder hut over here is in, which means I will destroy this one. And the reason for that is so we can utilize this area to build up our pathway system to that front road up here. And while we do have a ton of these storage facilities up here, we're not married to actually, keep these going or keep these alive as we build further and further up. All right, so this will still be our main path. So for now, and how shall we actually do this? In order to have our beavers still have a way to get down here, I think we first need to build a secondary path up this way. So, and we can kind of just start from the very top with this, because that area right here kind of just needs to, well, doesn't need to, but can literally just be straight paths up and down. Actually, hold on. Let's make this a bit more principled. We do have a ton of dynamite, so let's actually just use it all up. Wow, they are fast of building this stuff. All right. Having that set that, since we are using dynamite, I will reactivate our explosive factory, and then we can add our triple dynamite to the top here, and along all these paths kind of all the way down to here. These will become single dynamites, just like that. And then we're going to make sure that we have a good amount of space, basically. What did you guys... Oh, you got to there from here. Okay. So, forgot what I was saying. Anyways, let's keep exploding this stuff away. All right, here we go. We can now also explode these away. And then we're kind of making our way into the mountain area right here. In order for our beavers to have an easier way of getting there, I guess the only thing that we really need to do is put a levee on both, well, I guess 2 levees on both of these sides. And then, now they still won't be able to reach this part. So give me a second. Let's delete you and delete you. And then we're turning these into temporary staircases. Now it is a bad tide, and this new system over here is new. Well, the new system is new. Anyways, so I want to keep an eye on this part right here. And I also want to go ahead and rootlet. Okay. So water shortcut bad water system. If it is on, I want you to be at the height of 2.7. If it is off, we're going to lower this all the way to the bottom. And you are currently on 2.7. That's what the height should be. Kind of looks about right. Is there still water flowing over? There is still water flowing over. Okay. I can also just raise this a little bit more, go to 2.8. Just so it fills this up. And when the bad water hits here and this closes, we're going to open up that backflow over here completely. And that will still allow all the water from here to be used in our bigger reservoir, which I think will overall be quite nice. All right. This has closed off. This has opened up. So all of this worked. Pretty awesome. And now we're going to have a quick look over here where our bad water, like the version system, is coming along. If you are on and you're currently off, then you close up and you go down. All right, that should actually fully work. I will actually reduce this to 2% because there's a little bit of bad water that came in here. Not that it matters too much at this point, but look at that. Perfectly balanced, perfectly sorted out, and everything is automated. Awesome. I like to see that. Let's go ahead and detonate these out again. And then we already know you need to be a single layer level dynamite here. We need 2 double level dynamites over here, and then 2 triple over there. And forgot again what the shortcut for this is. The area back here is actually too deep already, which means it should be on the same level as this one. And that means if we put down 1 single level dynamite on both of these, we should be completely sorted in order for like having a straight path kind of into that back area. Let's check out if I did this correctly. And looks like I did. Awesome. And then we can utilize this entire space to actually build a staircase system up. All right. Did it need to be so elaborate? Probably not, but you know, I think overall it's kind of nice to have it a little bit fancier. All right. We could utilize some of the corner pieces, but I want to also make sure we can walk out this way on every single level. And that tells me we kind of need to plan it just like this. Let me first make sure though this is correct. So if we're placing a staircase in here, another staircase kind of needs to go here, and you should actually be single platform, and then we're going to use a spiral staircase after all. All right, if we're doing this, we will always have a way out this way. And I think that kind of makes a ton of sense. Now, with that spiral staircase in, that spiral staircase does need treated planks. So that means we need a treated plank factory. And I think we're just gonna place it right next to our smelter up here because we have more constant power supply in this area compared to the area at the bottom. All right, because we do have a ton of logs, we're gonna fill this up with levees rather than anything else. And then in the woodwork, we're going to the woodwork shop and place you down as well. 800 science, easy peasy. We do have a ton of signs available. All right. In the meantime, I'm going to make sure that we have all the paths in here that need to go in here, and just keep building this further up. Shouldn't take too long for... hold on. You should not be here. And you guys shouldn't be a double. You should be single staircases. All right. Almost messed this up already. Cool. But I'm glad I noticed and was able to correct this. All right. So if we're doing this, we come out here. We have a path over this way. And I guess it would always be... Oh, but I can't put another spiral staircase right here. Correct. So if we're doing this, what we could do is to have a path down there. No, something in my head doesn't quite work out. Let me remove the spiral staircase and let me remove you. This is probably way easier than I think it is. Just need to figure it out. So what if instead of having, what if we actually put our spiral staircases in the corner right there? It would not solve the problem, would it? No, we need the out here. All right, let me redraw this from scratch. In my head earlier, it made a ton of sense, but I guess that was in my head. So yeah, you know how this goes with stuff in your head. All right, we need to have the ability to branch off from our staircase. So if we're doing this, we can actually have a regular staircase here, a path this way, and then we can reach all of that. If we then put a single platform here and a spiral staircase over there, we can already go to that second layer. We come out here, still want to be able to walk over there, and then we just need to do that. All right, single staircase here, single platforms all along here, and nope, that is also not it. Should be kind of easy enough to do. Actually, if we have them walk in here, we could have a spiral staircase always in the corner there, and they could still walk out this way. All right. Like I said, I promise I tried to think this through beforehand. It is harder than it seems. So if we put you here, and then have a spiral staircase this way, we put the double platforms here, single platform here. Now we still have the kind of the same problem, right? So we could do it like that, where we get the double platform in here, spiral staircase there. I think that will actually work. All right. Add all of this in here. Now this is a path. We kind of need another. No, still doesn't make sense. All right. How about I stop trying to be fancy? I think that makes more sense. All right. So have a path up here. Have a branch in this direction. Don't need to have you here. Needs to go one in further. All right, here we go. So have a branch out in this direction. We're gonna have this over here. Spiral staircase over there. We're now at the level above. That can come out. And then we can put a double platform here, single platform there, spiral staircase here. And then we have a path out, and then triple platform right there, spiral staircase here, double platform here, pathway out. More spiral staircases than I initially estimated, but that is actually okay. So we put another spiral staircase here. Then a double one on top. Let me please, there we go, thank you. Single platforms over this way. Triple platform right here. Spiral staircase there. Double one here, and then we can walk over there, and this also only needs to be a straight staircase up. Okay, whew, that was a long path to get there. And there's probably a smarter way of doing this, but yeah, let's just call it a long day. Then again, shouldn't be an excuse. Either way, let's make sure we're connecting all of this up. I will resume the entire game because they don't need to wait. All right, here we go. This is kind of our staircase system that will also allow us to get over on every single level here, whichever level we actually want to be at. Good. Once this is built, we can remove all of these paths and then do kind of the same thing over here. In the meantime, they are working on the wood workshop. I don't know why I paused it. Let's unpause it. And then we will have someone in here taking in logs, planks, and gears. We have all of these, which is kind of nice. But still not in an overall, in the overall best position for us. I am wondering though, if all of this industry part should actually go now in the back behind these warehouses, these underground piles, because I think it would overall, first of all, look kind of nice, and we can utilize more of the power up here from the bad water. So at least during bad water season, we still have the power supply going. And then we only need to worry about the droughts. Also, it'll be in a combined power system. Okay, so I'll let them put in all the dynamite, and then we probably want to continue building this up a little bit and get a few more of these water wheels in. That will potentially allow us in the long run also to utilize a bit more of the space over here. So for now, we're adding them over here. That's one power wheel right there. Then we will open this up and then add more levees over this way. All right. As long as we're connecting the power into this system right here, we don't even need to worry about how we're going to get the power up, because we can just keep the power connection in the back here going, even though it is one level higher, but you know, overall not too bad. So let's already plan that out by putting down a single platform here, as well as a vertical power shaft. Hold on, don't need a platform. We have way more logs than we have planks. So here we go, single levee here, and then a vertical power shaft right on top of it with a regular power shaft here. I mean, alternatively, we could run it on the ground here. Don't think it's quite necessary. So let's keep them building this up. And in the meantime, also have a look what's happening over here. And of course, the treated planks are what is currently missing. So I want you guys to actually finish building this one. We do have a ton of metal blocks, so we could even pause our smelter right now, because this is pretty full. Should we? We do have technically enough beavers right now, so probably not quite worth it. All right. Water supply filling up nicely. Food supply coming in okay as well. We don't have any storage for the excess foods that we're producing. See, the grilled potatoes completely full. You have kind of placed everything, so I can already pause you. You technically have currently nothing to do until everything grows up here. So I'm going to pause you as well. And other than that, I think everything's going pretty okay. Sunflower seeds are still a little bit lacking, but that is something that I wanted to do because I added, please not the staircase. I added these in because I thought we'd be a bit short in terms of food production, but definitely okay. So we'll remove that and replace all of you with sunflowers. It will also look nice. Imagine you come out of your house, end of the day, beginning of the day, probably beginning of the day, and then you see a sunflower field. I can see that being, you know, really nice to look at. All right. All of the dynamite is in up here, so let me go ahead and explode this away. Also gonna demolish this slope, and we're making sure that we're connecting up our storage areas right here. All right, they're already building all of this, which is nice. And that means we can also put down additional water wheels in these gaps here where we can then utilize them later on. Put a water wheel here, one there, one there. Should give us a decent amount of extra area or power to work with. Okay, so in addition, like I said, we want to be able to also get our industry working up here. So we have two gear workshops, but we're starting with our lumber mills because they will want direct access to these underground piles here. Probably actually switch this to be logs as well. We're not currently storing any planks, but we also don't have any planks to store. Either way. And we're going to make sure that we're connecting this up here in the back. I'll keep hugging sort of the surface of the cliffside here, just to make sure we get as much kind of space out the front as we could possibly want, which again will be, I think, quite beneficial for us in the long term. All right. Water supply, this has gone down a little bit, but yeah, don't think there's anything too much to worry about. We had also talked about destroying these dams and replacing them with levees and instead putting the dams over here. I think I will actually do that in the next regular season. Temporarily close this off and then quickly do all of that. But yeah, for now, let's not overdo it and focus on the things that we I just really need to get sorted. All right. Should have higher prioritized, not high prioritized, the power shafts over here. Because without power, there's no point in actually getting these ones built. Do need more planks. Planks are slowly coming in. Might even temporarily leave all of them up here. Also gonna highest priority the demolition of the slope. All right, power is now running, which means this guy can start working. And like I said, I will actually set this to be logs, because ideally I would want a plank storage underground pile be facing in the opposite direction. And you know what? Let's delete you. Let's already set all of this up. Here we go. And then we're setting you up to store planks. Doesn't need to be on high priority, but I do want them to take all the logs and start filling up this underground pile. Also gonna unpause this now, because again, if we get more planks, even better. Okay, so in addition, like I said before, we're actually gonna keep adding a couple more of these plank factories. One here, one there, one there. They can all be built. They only take logs and we have a ton of them. And then we're just gonna pause the buildings as we need them. Well, as we don't need them, I guess. Either way. All right, the treated plank manufacturing is in. Looks like what is our pine resin situation? 32. I will also unpause the power shack. Oh boy, the tapas shack, which I think will be quite important. Gonna copy this over, slightly higher priority on you. And if I also set the construction site priority to slightly higher, it would actually work. All right. Now with all of these in, I will go ahead and destroy the plank production buildings down here. You can go, both of you can go, you're paused anyways. We'll keep this one going for a little while longer. And very soon, actually can already pause you, both of you. Very soon we have 3 of these lumber mills up here, hopefully up and running, and help us with the production of all the materials that we could possibly need. All right, each one of you actually produces 360 power. Up here, we're currently in demand of 930. Well, that's a decent amount. Why are you? You're probably too far away. I guess that kind of makes sense. So let's go ahead and connect a path through here. But that also tells me if I want to expand this even further, having a path through here might actually be beneficial. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. No particular rush on that. All right, another lumber mill to be paused. And once those 2 are built, we can then destroy that last gear workshop down here. Okay, coming along. Also, our staircase, weird staircase over here, is getting there as well. And I think everything is reachable so far, yes. Awesome. But of course, need more of the treated planks as they are coming in. We're overall in a pretty good spot. All right. I guess no particular rush on getting this one done. Fair enough. We're still short on planks. I guess we also technically need planks. Where did I see the... I guess they needed gears to build this, not gears to actually produce stuff, which makes a ton more sense. Okay. In addition, we could also place down a few more wind turbines specifically for when we are in a drought, but I think we're going to leave that for another time. Didn't quite get as far with all of this as I really wanted to. However, this staircase is almost done. And I will already put down the dynamite over here. I'm gonna kind of like mirror it on both sides. And once these last few staircases are in, like I said, we're gonna delete this mishmash of staircases up there and create this a little bit more sensible. I have actually gone ahead and removed all of the carrots over here, which allows me now to place down a few more sunflower seeds and hoping that our beavers will benefit from that sooner rather than later. Let's also have a quick look at this. Still takes a while for it to grow up. So does this. Yeah, no particular. Technically, we don't need you yet since you're making grilled chestnuts. And you guys are happily kind of chopping away at everything. Cool. All right. Food's still looking good. Water's looking perfect. Sweet. Still waiting on those gear workshops. Let's actually, not the workplace, please. I do think the construction site should actually be up here and not down there. Maybe that's just me. I don't know. All right. Last spiral staircase is supposed to come in, and I'm excited to see this kind of, see if this kind of works as the new water is coming out. I'll take a couple more minutes. So, you know, we'll get there. I've also put in the dynamite already. Let's explode this away, making that space over here that I mentioned we kind of need, the same as on this side. And then we could already start exploding stuff out here. Don't quite know if it's worth it yet. We'll see, we'll see. Oh, this should actually go away. We don't need the staircase anymore. Can actually remove all of them. All in a good spot. All right, gear workshop up here is in, which means I can delete you down here. And as the second one is coming in as well, we're, I want to say, in a pretty good situation. All right. Fresh water is coming, slowly, but coming nonetheless. One more treated plank. Will take a little bit. But then finally that is done. Oh yeah, second gear workshop is in as well, and we can finally start producing a little bit excess material. All right, what is your percentage? 9%. 8. Slowly going down, but you know, slowly is not too bad. This kind of, I mean, we'll kind of keep, I guess, some bad water in here, but that's fair. This should now, any second now, hopefully. Maybe not. Let me already go ahead and actually deal with this. I want to make sure we're ready if we want to expand this over here. Oh, now it turned on. Forgot to set you to actually be automated with the shortcut. Look at that, flowing in, very nice. And that will help kind of fill this up a little bit quicker. Why are you still red? You're 3%. Okay. You should switch any second now as well. Here we go. Beautiful. All right. I did want to go ahead actually and remove these trees. Please go ahead and do that. In the meantime, that staircase is in, and that allows me now to remove all of these staircases. And we'll slowly work our way down the mountain in the next episode and see how many houses we can actually squeeze in. I think it'll be quite fun. Anyways, with that, I am gonna call this an episode. So thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye bye.